everyone, it's Joker Card here on the Wilson Club Entertainment channel once again to talk to you about an arcade game called Red Baron. And last time I played Centipede. Everybody knows Centipede. I feel like Red Baron's one that doesn't really get talked about as much nowadays, and I think that sucks because despite what IMDb rates it at like 6 something, I think it's a 10 out of 10 game. It's fun. It's really fun. It's a flight simulator that was made in the 80s. Like, come on now, you know? So Red Baron was made by Atari in like 1980, and it's a first-person flight simulator game. And I know compared to our modern-day flight simulator games, it doesn't really... this seems so archaic, but it's so... that's what makes it so fun. And so there is actually a little bit of some background info for your quote-unquote character. So the player takes a role basically as a World War I ace pilot in a biplane fighting for the Allies. And the game uses some monochrome vector graphics and some hardware that Atari owns, similar hardware as Atari's own Battlezone is what I meant to say, both developed around the same amount of time. And then like that game Battlezone, the player is presented with a first-person view of the action. You know, like how some fight simulators you can do first person, third person, or both. This one's strictly first person, which is really interesting because of the graphics that it uses, but it's all well and fun. The game's divided into rounds, which even when you play it, it doesn't feel like it. It just feels kind of more like an endless like system. They're divided into like air combat, so if as you guys watch me play, I'm shooting at airplanes and what appears to be zeppelins and stuff. And then there's the ground targets, so like when you see me flying towards the mountains and stuff and shooting those things shooting at me, those are the ground levels or ground waves, whatever you want to call them. And the game does not feature accurate flight physics at all. So, but it can't be going, you can't crash it directly into the ground or anything, but you will drive it. You will fly into a mountain for sure. There are other solid objects in there too, but there's pillboxes, which are the ground ones, turrets and enemy buildings, and then there's zeppelins and biplanes up in the air. And those are the ones that are a little bit, like, I feel like the zeppelins are harder to hit for me. Like, as you can even watch me play, like, I'm not really that great at shooting anything but the fucking biplanes, but it's whatever, you know, it's just a game to have fun. And it adjusts its difficulty too, which is really cool that they were doing that back then too, where if you have a consistent average game time, for example, for I think it's 32 games, something like that, it basically just adjusts the difficulty for you or adapts the difficulty. It's an overall really, really fun game. I mean, they're the classics, you know, like the ones that everybody knows and loves today. I feel like those set a standard and an idea for a lot of people who want to go back and play these Atari games and stuff that they didn't grow up playing. Like I'm an example of one of those people. Like I didn't grow up playing Pac-Man and Centipede and Atari games. I grew up on my GameCube playing, you know, God, I could throw you some out there games like Tac Tac and the Power of Juju. I was playing on there. I remember playing Monkey Balls every single day, Lego Star Wars, but I didn't grow up on the Atari classics like a lot of people did. So, and I bought the Atari Vault to go through them and play them and re-experience what it was like to be a gamer. When it's, you know, about 40 years ago, which is insane to think 1980s, 40 years ago. In my brain, I have to remember that it is 40 and not 20. I don't know why everything past 2000 just doesn't seem right. But if you go on, you know, Red Baron's Wikipedia page, it even tells you it's technically a shoot 'em up genre. It's a single player game. It's really fun though. Like, this is a game that's different. Like, not everybody can be really good, or not everybody wants to just play the exact same, you know, games, the Centipede, the Millipede, the Pac-Man, the you know, Galaga, and you know, this is a really good refresher for old gamers and a really nice new one for newer gamers that are just getting into classic arcade games. And what I really like about it personally is, you know, you could take a lot of, you know, some stuff that you currently think of when you're playing aerial flight, you know, fighting games, and a lot of the same principles apply to this one. Now the controls are, you know, not perfect. Sure, they're wonky, and by wonky I mean like you're moving with arrow keys, and it would be easier with a joystick. Or at least I'm using arrow keys because I'm playing it on my Atari Vault on my PC. But you know, you could just, if you've ever played an aerial fighting game before, like even if it's Star Wars Battlefront, or if you're playing War Thunder, or you know, to my knowledge that you can get into an airplane on Battlefield and you can do it that way too. Like there's tons of stuff, but you can apply the same stuff here to this game as well, which is, it makes it feel a lot more comfortable, a lot quicker than you would automatically assume them to be. And it's just, I don't know, like I keep saying, it's a really, really fun game. Like I'm the kind of guy that likes, you know, I like the adrenaline rushing, like super complex or super heated gameplay type stuff too. You know, I play Killing Floor 2 a lot, and if anybody is watching that's played that game knows that it can get intense. Especially when you're not playing on normal and you're playing on suicidal. That is the actual name of the difficulty, YouTube, alright? But yeah, no, this is just a calm, relaxing game to play, and it's one of those kinds of games where when you die, as you can see me do a few times, it makes me want to immediately go back. Like sometimes when I play old games, it's like I get so frustrated depending on the game that I gotta take a break, and that happens in modern games too. But there's some games that are a little bit older that just they make you put your money where your mouth is. Like people have this misconception of old games that they're easy, right? They have to be easy compared to the games that we play now, and that's just so not true. And one cool thing about Red Baron as well is a lot, you know, some older games like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, for example, it's about memorizing patterns. And Red Baron, it doesn't feel as necessary. Like it doesn't feel like you have to memorize this, and this. It mostly just kind of like, it tests your reflexes. Like you can remember where the patterns are, sure, but you're still getting shot at, and you still got to deal with, you know, your guns overheating and stuff too, which is something that I didn't think they would really take into an account back then, but they did, and it's really cool. And I could definitely see myself, if I was, you know, growing up at a different time, going to the arcades and just playing this. I mean, granted, there are a couple there's an arcade within like 2 hours of my house, but that, you know, it's 2 hours. I don't want to do that. Who wants to drive 2 hours just to go play some games, right? I'll do it on every now and then, but I don't know. This is, I could definitely see myself going to the arcade every other day, every weekend or something after school, and just playing this. I mean, and it's something really satisfying about old games, and in particularly Red Baron, where when you get a higher score, it feels so good. Like games nowadays, we focus on our kill death ratios if it's a shooter or something like that, and there's not really anything coming out that's like this anymore. They're not structured like old games are, where you get a certain amount of lives and you have a high score. And it's, for old games, it's so much more satisfying to have those bragging rights and to watch all of the people challenging that high score to just crumble in front of it because they think the game's easy, or they think you get points quick or whatever. No. You gotta be just as alert, just as cautious and aggressive, and choose when those times happen. I'm not the best at these voiceovers, so and I have ADHD, so it probably sounds like I'm rambling and I'm going off topic and all these things, but that's the only way I'm gonna do it without either stuttering or just dead silence. And I tried doing, commentary, as I'm playing, but it just, I can't do it. I get too zoned in on the game and then I don't talk, and it just doesn't feel right to me. Especially because I'm not editing. Like, this is raw footage that you guys are getting here, just straight raw footage with audio recording from my phone attached to it. So that'd be a little bit different, but especially with it being such like a simple game, there's not a lot to look at. You kind of get the concept of it within the first 2 seconds. There's not really, for me, there's not a whole lot of commentary for it, but that's just because I'm not the big reactionary type. Like, if anything happens, I'm not automatically responding to it with my voice. Like, I'm more of a thinker when it comes to that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching me play Red Baron, either average or below average gameplay. I really do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun, and it gives me an excuse to go and play these old games, is now that, because these are going to be my videos on this channel, and it's going to make it a lot more fun. But thank you guys for watching me. If you guys want to check me out, I have 3 YouTube channels. It's JK Cards, JK Builds, and Joker Kurt 375. But more importantly, like the video. Like my Red Baron video. Come on, it's a 1980 flight simulator. Like the video, give the channel a subscribe, tell your friends about it. This channel is going to be filled with, more than a few different types of content that everybody can enjoy. And make sure to ring that notification bell as well. You want to make sure that you don't miss any content from Wilson Club Entertainment, whether it's arcade games like this, eating challenges, and some other cool, fun, edity type things. But thank you guys for watching so much. Really appreciate it. And comment down below what game I should play next. As long as it's an Atari game, I'm pretty sure I can get it on here. If you want asteroids, anything like that, just shoot me a comment down below. I really appreciate it. And make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Alright, have a good one.